YouTube Muscly folks, I come to you with a report from the front lines of this brutal cut. My energy levels are very low as I've been opportunities playing basketball with some folks in the park and got my shins bloody, my knees bloody, my forearms bloody, scraping on the concrete. I'm just worn out to bits and doing some deadlifts. You know how that goes. Clinging to the strength for dear life so that you don't lose any while losing weight. That is what makes the cut a challenge. Trying to cling to that grip of your prior PRs and whatnot. Obviously, you're not going to hit those, but being able to at least play with the same weights, even though you're going to lose some reps. Here we're doing 270. I got, I think, 8 reps. It was, I was worried that I was going to be scraping all those bruises and whatnot on my shins and knees, but it did not come in to play. Luckily, something about my form, it just didn't happen to bump anything that was gnarled up from all the excessive extra cardio and stuff that I've been doing pursuant to the goal of leaning out. And that's been progressing super fast. I think the lowest weight I've tracked so far is 162, and the highest weight I tracked before I started going down was 172. And that was only about maybe 2.5, maybe 3 weeks ago. So it's moving relatively quick paced. A lot of that initial loss was water weight, but I think it's starting to nudge down for real at this point. I probably will stop close to 158, but maybe higher, because I don't know. I'll have to see what it looks like at 160 before I decide if it's wise to go any lower. And then I'm just going to slowly reverse diet back out into a lean bulk again and bulk through the summer. Usually if I do the one cut for like a month or something, a month and a half, sort of hard, which for me is like 2,800 calories, 2,750, even up to 3,000. I think I still kind of lose weight. But I do a lot of activity in general, plus the workouts. But that said, that usually causes me to lose weight at like maybe a pound or 2 a week. Maybe 2 pounds a week probably. And that will lean me out quick, and then it'll get rid of any body fat that I gained while I was bulking up. I seem to, as long as I lift heavy, and I don't go too low with my food, I feel like I'm able to hold on to most of my muscle. But I think a big factor in that is having a lot of activity. Like, if you're the kind of person who does an enormous amount of activity, it's easier, I think, to hang on to muscle, justify hanging on to muscle. As long as a lot of that activity is functionally involving your strength. That's why it's better to like play basketball than it is to go do a long distance run, because the basketball you're occasionally using all those strong muscles and you actually need them for something. So that allows your body to justify clinging to it, even though you're doing so much movement that ultimately it would be more efficient if you just weighed less. And that's what happens when you're a marathon runner. Your body just wants to weigh less. I personally, in a cardio sense, I came from a background where I was the mile runner on my high school track team. So my main competition output was the mile run, which is not really a long distance jog. It's an actual run, and you have to sprint at the end. So it's kind of a hard run. So it takes a certain type of person to be good at it. You'll notice that the mile runners are never as skinny, not necessarily always as tall as the type of folks that are like cross-country people at school, that kind of thing. It's kind of a different type of deal where there's some usefulness to muscle mass, but there's not much. So, I mean, whenever I would do that, I only weigh 145. But, like, I feel like your body just sort of genetically adapts to the activities you're doing, and in order to be muscular and lean, you have to do a whole lot of activities, but they need to be very athletic activities that convince it that you need to have muscles in order to do them. And it sort of has to justify itself in that sense, because otherwise it's unnatural to get lean and muscular. And then there's people that use anabolic steroids and other pharmaceuticals to do it, and that's a different way of doing it. But like, if you do it naturally, you have to really give your body an excuse. You have to say, why is it beneficial for me to be lean and muscular? Like, what is it going to help me do? You know, like, on a certain level, that kind of lean, muscular, natural is a certain kind of thing where you won't necessarily be the strongest in the world. You wouldn't be as strong as you were if you had more body fat. But there are some situations where it plays out really well in your favor. Like right now, doing hanging leg raises, doing pull-ups, doing weighted dips. Like you can really do some wild stuff with that because your functional athleticism is good if you're strong and lean. But you can't be as muscular as you could be if you weren't as conservative. So there's trade-offs. It has to be about what you want to do, with your own self, with your own adaptations on your own body, your own way. Thanks for like, comment, and subscribe. Appreciate all your time. Peace.